I just had an experience right there that was new for me, which is when your son can choose when to mute you as a father and not mute you. Interesting times. So I think what occurred to Uri and to me is this phrase, social distancing, as a way to deal with this really challenging, scary, and disorienting time. And it hit me right away that what we really need right now is physical distance and social connection and social closeness. And it's a strange, interesting time in history that we can actually, I have found in the last week or two that I'm spending more time talking to more people, a wider range of people that I care about from all different walks of my life. And maybe some of you together here in this room are experiencing this too, but we actually need to be closer to each other in a spiritual, emotional way during tough times. And we have the technology to do it. So instantly, when I started to see all the faces come on and from different parts of my life and different points in time, I started to feel much uplifted because frankly, this morning things were getting to me. I was not feeling physically great. I was starting to feel frightened. I was feeling emotionally a bit overwhelmed by hearing some stories of people who were really challenged. So I think that the message of the day, and being, quote, speech therapists, we're really communication people, is communication means coming together to commune, to connect. And that has a very powerful effect on our souls, just listening to each other, just seeing each other. And so I'm grateful right now, and I encourage us to do more and more of it. And I thought of kind of a need for two kinds of conscious thoughts as a way to anchor myself. And it's a combination of gratitude. I find that I'm much more focused on things that I have, the people who are closest to us, our own lives, being alive itself. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for whatever health we have, and all the friendship and support in this world. So I think that it's a time where I'm less busy running around with this and that, and much more focused on the basics. And I think that's a blessing. And that's combined with a sense of really needing to be aware of all the suffering in the world and to really care and feel a sense of empathy and compassion for people who are being very challenged and who will, and more of us will be challenged. So I think the key is really communication, staying connected with each other. And then there's a big surprise in my life because I was always aversive to technology and resistant to using a lot of these things, as Uri knows, because he's always encouraging and trying to support me to branch out. So I thought my ability to help people in my work as a speech therapist was really closed up because the door of the office is closed. And in the last 2 weeks, I started to reach out to people and do the work that we do and help them and support people in their, whatever their speech communication issues are. And I'm finding I'm getting more comfortable and more effective doing that through the computer. And it's like a whole new world opened up. And I started to say, you know, maybe when this is over, I won't need an office. I'll be able to work with people any place, anytime. And then I'm very involved being supported physically for my Parkinson's issues by working with a trainer. And he had to close his home to guests. He has his gym in his home. And one of the things I do is boxing with him. And I thought, how could I ever do that any other way? And so now I've experienced boxing training through the computer. And I haven't punched my computer yet, but I've brought the trainer into my home through this technology. And then my wife was developing some severe back problems, and I got her a physical therapist, and he's been treating her through the internet, and she's getting better. And I went like, I didn't ever think any of these things were possible. So my world has opened up and expanded, both by being able to help other people from my side and from receiving help and support from other people's sides. So I think that I'm being convinced that we have new ways, and that this technology, what we're using right here, the Zoom, I don't know, Uri, how long this exists, but I think it's just ready in time for our needs. So I think we all resist change. We don't like to have it imposed on us. And so the first stage is resistance and like, I'm not going to change. And then at some point when we change, sometimes we go like, wow, thanks for pushing me to change. It was painful, but something great has opened up from it. So I guess I'd like to hear a little bit, or questions or thoughts. We don't have an agenda, whatever be interesting to share from your own perspectives. how things are changing for you and what positive, perhaps, lessons things are coming to you from some of the challenges, that would be a wonderful piece.
Sure. So I'll stop the recording and